Hey, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. You know what I did this morning?
No.
I got to go pull my 5-year-old's tooth out of her face with the dentist because
I did
she
know
decided
that.
to fall and crack her tooth. And I thought maybe we could save it. No, we couldn't save it. So she's
I
not
don't know
lost
that
any
she
teeth.
decided to do that.
She didn't decide that. No, but it was like yay, we're at the dentist right now. And my poor baby, who has not lost any of her baby teeth, is having a tooth pulled
Which
out of her
is so
head.
wild that at 5 that she hasn't lost any teeth. Like,
Is it? Okay.
I feel like or maybe, I don't know. It's been a long time. I feel like Jasmine's teeth were falling out left and right. Like,
They did
from
say
4. So
her front tooth is wiggly. So I love that because that means she was like, so the tooth fairy is going to come tonight, but then mommy, the tooth fairy is going to come again soon. I'm like, yeah, I wonder how much the tooth fairy is going to leave you.
listen, don't set the bar too high because I set the bar really high with the Jasmine. And
What did you do?
Well, when her first tooth fell out, we had just started fostering her. And so we were in like full on spoil the heck out of her mode. So we went to the store and bought like a little goodie bag with a new toothbrush and toothpaste, but also like a whole bunch of toys. And so the tooth fairy was like an Easter bunny, basically.
Oh my gosh.
And it ended up being like $50 to $75 of stuff every time she lost a tooth, because once you set that bar,
Oh, you can't unset
you
it.
have to keep meeting it. So I'm just going to caution you to be mindful about that, because
Well-
every time the tooth fairy, I had to come up with something new and creative, like a gift to get her. And I was like,
Oh my
this is so good.
gosh, sunshine.
And I swear to God, she was pulling her teeth out on purpose.
with the two.
So what I did today, and why I'm drinking wine alone on this podcast, is because it's late at night, because I'm on the East Coast and you are on the West Coast. I took my little foster puppy to go get major surgery. And so I picked him up and rushed home to get here in time for the podcast. And he's in his little pen out there with a pin in his leg and a plate and this huge scar that goes all the way down from his little ankle all the way up to his hip, and his cone on his head. And while they had him under, they neutered him too. So he should
poor
be drinking
boy.
the wine, not me.
Oh, but you know what? There's a light at the end of this because he didn't lose his leg, right?
No,
so
he
that's
didn't. We
huge.
thought he was going to lose it, and he didn't. So that's
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, there's that. And my bar is set pretty low. Tessa said, is the tooth fairy bringing you a quarter? And she was so excited about that. So I think we could start that off a little lower. We'll see.
Let's start with the quarters. Yeah. Or you know what you could do is go to the bank and get a bunch of $2 bills, because they have them at the bank. And that could be like a special thing that the tooth fairy leaves.
I love that idea. Okay.
Because then they're
take
like,
that.
it's more rare, you know?
Yeah. Special.
And they're always brand new when you get them.
Crisp.
I don't know why they still print these $2 bills, but they do. The bank will give them to you. And so you can like have a stack of them. So then you're always ready, you know, every
Okay.
time. You just have that envelope on the top of your closet or whatever. Shh, kids, don't listen to this podcast.
Tooth fairy is real.
The tooth fairy keeps her $2 bills at the bank, and she waits for your mom to go and get them.
And she picks them up. It's fine.
It's fine.
Well, I love doing these podcasts with you. I'm so excited to have Dr. Toni on and hear everything that she is doing, because everything I see, it's like, okay, when does this girl sleep, first of all?
This is a person who is the definition of extra and type A and can't do anything. But you know what? I feel like that's how surrogates are. Like a lot of times surrogates are achievers, and they want to help, and they want to make a difference, and they want to do something big and then something bigger. And so she's a doctor of education. So she's a teacher. She's an educator. That's her heart.
Inspiring.
Very inspiring. So I'm super excited for all of our guests to get to meet her and for us to learn more about her than what we've already learned on her website and on her socials, and just actually learn about her personality and everything too. So
Love it.
yeah,
So
I'm glad we're here
excited.
late at night, even if I do have to have a little bit of wine.
It's fine. I'm going to drink a glass of wine afterwards. So let's do this. Let's bring her in. Hi.
Hi, look at you ladies looking all beautiful and smiling.
And you too. And I love that you got the memo that we love purple.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
we do.
And
Our
you
website
painted
is
your whole
purple.
room just for this podcast.
Thank you.
I did it all last night.
I love it. Where are you at, Dr. Toni? Where are you located?
So I am located in San Diego, California.
Oh, okay.
Where at in San Diego?
I'm in the Escondido area, so a little north. Yeah.
So I am in Savannah, Georgia, but I moved here a couple of years ago from San Marcos. I used to live in Rancho Bernardo, so I know exactly where you are. Like you can tell me what street you live on, and I probably know it.
You're like, yeah, I've been there. I was actually there the other day.
Yeah, I love Escondido. It's beautiful.
And I'm actually in Mission Viejo, so I'm not too far away, a hop skip away from you. I actually visit San Diego all the time. So it's one of my retreat places that I like to go when I want to go explore. So
I'm just trying to get a feel for everyone's time zone because I'm the only one drinking wine. It's 8:00 over here.
It is fine.
I have coffee.
So yeah, but I was like, it's 8:00. I need to have a glass of wine. It's been a day.
Sunshine, you didn't send the memo.
I know. That's what I said when I got on here, actually.
I would have made a beautiful margarita with some tahini around the rim.
Now you're speaking Casey's language. That's her favorite. If you put some cucumber and some jalapeno in there, then she's all over it.
It's watermelon season right now, though, so all the watermelon flavored things are coming out. So I'm all for it.
Oh, summer perfection.
So good.
Yeah. Well, we're so grateful to have you as a guest today. We've been looking forward to chatting with you and learning about your journey to surrogacy, becoming a surrogate, your story is very interesting and a little bit different than the typical surrogate's route. So I would love if you just want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background and kind of how you first even learned about infertility, because you kind of learned about it at a younger age than most of us.
I did. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for having me. And I'll just dive right on in. My name is Tonette Watson. I do go by Dr. Toni because I worked so hard to earn that doctor degree. So here I am, Dr. Toni. I'm the owner of and creator of Wombs of Angels, which is a brand that was created by a surrogate for surrogates and the people who love them. And so when it comes to my surrogacy journey, I was thinking about where I was going to start. It's such a big story to tell. But as you mentioned, I did learn about infertility at a really early age in life, 17 years old. And in my mind, I'm like, I love this story. Sometimes it gives me mixed emotions because I'm like, no 17-year-old should even be going through those things. But that's my story. That's my life. I was pregnant and then I miscarried. And I had a doctor tell me, you will probably never be able to have children. And if you do, it's going to be really hard and you're going to have all of these failed pregnancies. And I was just so young and I didn't know any better. I was hiding things from my mom, so I couldn't go talk to her about it. And I didn't know any better. I didn't know to go seek second opinions. I didn't know to talk to other women that possibly could have been going through what I was going through. I didn't know any of it. So I kind of kept it to myself. And I carried that with me my entire adult life. It was just, it was sad. It was sad because, you live life and you're growing up, and I graduated high school and I just always had a vision of being a mom and I carried that with me. I did. And fast forward, I met my now wife and it created a unique situation because everybody knows two women can't have a baby.
There's not going to be any accidental pregnancies in that situation.
Yeah, no matter how hard we try. So it created new relationship that I was in, created a very unique situation. And so we got into a stage in our relationship where we started talking about children and, getting serious and what that looked like for us. And we did a lot of research and we started going through profiles. It was kind of fun actually going through once we got comfortable with the idea of like, okay, we're going to need to pick a donor. And It was fun. It was like shopping through a catalog. We were like,
I always think that would be kind of fun.
So we brought humor to it, but we ended up selecting a donor. We did a few IUI cycles. I conceived on the second IUI cycle, and the pregnancy was just smooth selling, no complications, no morning sickness. I was glowing. And everybody was telling me like how
you look good.
Yes. And I'm like, and it just took me back to that 70-year-old me. And I was like, what the hell was that doctor talking about? Yeah. You know, like, this is fantastic. I'm like, it just took me back, but I'm very grateful. I had my daughter, who is now 7 years old. I'm still pinching myself like, this can't be real. I have my own little tiny human, and it just felt great. It was an amazing pregnancy. And I wanted to do it again, but I didn't want more children. I'm like, one and done. We're good. I don't know if that comes off a little selfish, but I fulfilled my dream. I have what I wanted. I have the marriage. I have a beautiful family, and I'm good. So fast forward to this first surrogacy journey. I have some cousins, and they were surrogates, and it was beautiful. And I watched them go through their journey, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, I think I can do that. And they were encouraging me like, yes, go for it. Do it. And then one day I was like, okay, I think I'm going to consider this. And it was just a moment in my life where I don't know if I was going through like a crisis. I don't know what was going on, but I'm like, I need more. I need to be doing something, because that's just my personality type. I have an A-type personality. And I'm like, okay, I need to be doing more. I need purpose. My daughter's beautiful. How can I be a blessing to someone? Like someone was a blessing to my family, and be blessed at the same time. And surrogacy was it, because it just comes full circle. You know, it comes full circle. There were people in my situation, in my place, who desired to have a family. And that was me at one point in time that desired to have a family. So I'm like, this is it. And I went through the journey. It's so crazy. I'm gonna let you ask the next question, because I don't want to.
No, I love it so much.
Get too deep into it, but that's kind of like how I came into my first surrogacy journey. Yeah,
as we say, stumbled into it.
It's funny how it happens. Like for all of us, I feel like for me, I had that similar feeling that like, I had like rescued all these animals, and I was teaching high school English, and I was doing all these things, and I was like, what else can I do that's big? I need to do something that's a big deal, you know? And I could tell you're that type of person too, because you don't accidentally get a doctorate, you know, like, so you're Dr.Toni. I used to joke with Kyle, because I was a teacher and I was working on my master's, and I was like, I'm going to get my doctorate just so that I can put on our little address labels. I just thought it would be so fun to be like Dr. and Mr.
So
Hansen.
It's so legit.
I'm like, yes. So don't you dare not use that doctor title, because you did earn it. What did you study in? What is your degree?
Educational. So the doctorate is in educational leadership. So I focus in adult education and training and learning. So that's where I'm at. And
that's in everything that you're doing right now.
It's not a small feat to get that.
It's in everything. Even in my career, I'm not going to shout out the organization, but even in my long-standing career with the Fortune 5 healthcare organization, I've been with them for 14 years. I was in the learning and development department. I was in the classroom. I trained all levels from C-suite to customer service, on-site, travel training, everything. So that's kind of where I fell in love with the adult learning environment, was in a corporate learning environment. So
and you're doing this Wombs of Angels, which I really want you to tell us all about. So we're going to have to dive into that too. Yes. But I was just thinking about your wife. Like, she must just be such a patient woman, because what do you Do you rest? Do you,
Do you sleep?
chill? Do you have no chill?
So most days I am all gas, no brakes. She knows this about me. When it gets to be too heavy and too much, she's like, "Hey, you need to chill." But for the most part, she is so supportive of everything that I want to do, and vice versa. Like we're so opposite in our interests that it just brings us closer together. If that makes sense. They say
it makes you the whole. Like you got
It
all
does.
the. It just creates this beautiful package. Yeah,
It does. It does. So she's super supportive.
your daughter's very lucky,
Oh, thank you. That's my baby. Ooh.
and she's at that sweet, sweet age too.
Yeah, she's at a very sweet age where she still wants mommy around. Like I'm still the cool mom, so I get to go on the field trips, and
She still wants to hold your hand.
yeah, she still wants it. She loves when she sees me at the school because, of course, I'm VP of programs on the PTA.
Of course you are.
Go figure. We have Teachers Appreciation Week coming up next week, and that's what I'm working on now. But it's so cute being on campus, and everybody's like, "Your mom's here. Your mom's here," and I'm like, "I'm a celebrity."
That's my mom.
I did that crazy thing. I have my older two, which are now 19 and 17, but I have also a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. And when my youngest was in kindergarten, I went in with that doe eyes of being that PTA mom. Anyways, long story short, I ended up being the PTA president because I got volunteered that this was an option. Yeah. I did it once and I never did it again, but I can relate to those moments of walking into that room saying, I want to do all of it, because you're just so in love with being a mom and knowing what that pride is. So I love that.
And I'm nosy. I want to know what's going on at the school campus.
Yes.
So I have like access granted, so I go anytime, and I'm like, "Hey, y'all!"
That's so good. That's so important. Oh my gosh, I'm the least involved mom. I don't think my daughter's teachers know my name. So I'm like, Kyle's on top of all that stuff. Well, because I have a 26-year-old, and I got pregnant when I was young. Also, I had my baby at 17. And I was 16 and I was just about to turn 17. And so I was doing the mom thing for a long time. So with our youngest, I'm just like, it's all you. Because when I met my husband, my oldest was 6. And so I'm like, now you get to do this. You get to do this.
Enjoy.
Your turn. Tag, you're it.
And he's like, listen, you only did the first 6 years by yourself. We did the rest of it together. I'm going to need you to step in. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. No.
Can I have a glass of wine, please?
Oh, fun.
That's embarrassing. I shouldn't tell people that. No.
No, it's hashtag mom life at the reality of how hard it is.
My baby.
This mom life is no joke.
It's not.
It is intense. It's super sweet. And, we find comfort in knowing that we have these little humans that just rely on us so much. And on our darkest days, those little touches and those little hugs it just makes everything feel so better. And that's what we have to come back to when we're getting ready to lose our minds and our heads are getting ready to spin on the axis. We have to come back to those moments. But
that's what I think my problem is right now is my daughter's 11. So she's in that preteen stage where I'm not cool. And I used to be so cool. Like we used to be able to wear the matching outfits. And she was like obsessed with me and wanted to be together all. And now she's like, and I took her to get her hair cut today, and she's like, I don't want to get my hair cut. And I made her get her hair cut, and they curled it, and it looked so pretty. And she immediately ruined it because she's like, I don't care about that. I'm like, this sucks.
I'm dreading that moment where my daughter's like, Mom, you can drop me off at the corner. Oh, Mom, you don't have to come on my field trip this time.
It'll come back though. It will. Those teens are mean, but they come back to us. They really do, and I can attest to that because my teens gave me my extra gray hairs that I like to cover up now. But I promise you, they do come back because my 19-year-old is the same way. She's now Mama's best friend again. But there was a period where she was a little mean when she was going through her period.
Oh,
period.
Oh. Well, I know who to
Nasty.
call. I know who to fall back
Yes.
on. So if you see me on the next meeting and I'm bawling and I'm crying, just, virtual hugs, virtual
Yes.
I
hugs.
lost my
Please.
super fan. Oh, it's so sad when it happens.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, so I have to ask
Yes.
the wombs of angels. Let's
Yeah.
talk about that.
Let's talk about it. Yes.
Yes,
Tell me how
please.
that became and kind of develop. How did that start? What did that look like?
So I've actually completed 2 surrogacy journeys. One in 2020, another in 2022. I delivered, and I wanted to remain a part of this space. And after the journey, it's all fun, and it's you deliver the baby and you're in that moment, and then it was postpartum, and I'm like, okay, what's next? What do I do? I wanted to stay in the space. And so I decided to create a product. And I was like, I'm going to create a product for surrogates, specifically for surrogates care, surrogate wellness, because even though I had great pregnancies, successful surrogacy journeys, the the relationship with the agency, it wasn't so great. And so I'm like, surrogate care is just so important. And I experienced it. I experienced how important it is. So I was like, what can I create to help surrogates along the way? Stay organized, stay well, stay mentally sane, right? And that's how I came up with the journal, because I love to journal. I probably have every color pen, pencil. I love the stickers. I love to journal. And that's just my thing. Is where I find my happy place. It's where I can just put the phone down and I can put on some warm, fluffy socks, grab a blanket, and just decompress. And so I created a journal. I designed it from front cover to back cover. I worked really hard on this journal, maybe about a year to produce it. I worked with a creative designer, and that was my first product, was the journal. So now that's kind of what I advocate, is journal to wellness for surrogates, because it's so much to keep up with. And so I wanted to create something where surrogates can keep everything together, all in one place. Medication schedules, calendars. How are you feeling? Let's color, let's write, let's do some activities, let's focus on exercise, let's get an eating plan together. And this journal literally has all of it. It has all of that in it. So yeah,
I want to see it. I want it in my hands.
I know.
That's the growth through it. It's called the Grow Through It.
Okay.
Grow Through It, Milestone and Affirmation Surrogacy Journal.
I love that it has that spiral cover.
It is durable. This is a keepsake. Definitely
Is it a
something.
hardcover too? Oh my gosh! And it
is
has
a
those little
hardcover.
corners. Okay, bring it closer to the camera.
Yes, please.
It's got those metal corners
Gold.
on the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
beautiful. It's
Yeah.
interesting because I think we meet, and Sunshine and I both being surrogates ourselves, it's something that you don't realize you're going to do. It's not like I grew up and said, I know what I'm going to be. When I grow up, I'm going to work in the fertility world, and I'm going to be an agency, or I'm going to be a surrogate. You don't think about those things. And when I did my first journey, similar, I said, wow, like, what's next? I have to be in this. I have to be in this world of surrogacy, and I want to know every single thing that there is to know about surrogacy. And that's what led me to my second journey, and then working in the industry. And really, for Sunshine and I, that's been our whole passion and mission, is to bring forth education so that women who are considering surrogacy can fully understand and grasp the reality of this is big. Yeah, this is big. And not all agencies look alike. And you had said it right, in that, and you're in the moment of it, it's hard being this person exploring what to expect and what's next. You don't know. You don't even know what questions to be asking. So I think it's huge when you have those inspiring women who lean in and say, I want to do more. I'm obsessed with this. What can I do to bring a love for surrogacy to other people, which I just think is so cool that you've done that.
Thank you. Yeah, this is definitely my more. This is me doing more. It has like communication, effective communication strategies. It has getting ready for delivery. It has packing your bags. What does that look like? And at the very end, this is the big one because this is segues into my next big thing that I have coming out is recovery. Postpartum. What does that really look like for surrogates? And this is kind of where this journal came in on the end of my second journey. It was a little different than the first. And I'm a part of communities and different groups, and everybody says each journey is different. And it is so true. My first journey, international couple, they were from France. We communicated through WhatsApp. We communicated through using a translator, which I have no issue with. I kept them informed, the appointments and sending them video updates. And communication is key because even though they were so far, I still wanted them to feel as connected as possible because this is their experience too. You know, and so the second journey was completely different because the family was local. We had shared so many intimate moments together. I mean, we went to dinner, we connected, we had a photo shoot. Those are the photos that you see on the website. We had a baby shower, like all these things that they wanted to do. I was like, even if I didn't want to do it, I'm like, yes, let's do it. Let's do it. And it's not because I didn't want to do it for any other reason aside from just being big and pregnant and being
and
late.
that you're doing like 100 million other things all the time too.
Like,
like, okay, sure, put more on my plate.
Yeah. So we had so many intimate moments, and that made recovery a lot different than the first.
I'm curious if you're going to say different better or different harder. And I'm
harder. It made it a little bit more challenging.
I was kind of expecting you to say that.
Yep.
It made it a little bit more challenging because the relationship was so close. It was so connected. It was very intimate. I mean, they came to the doctor's appointments as much as COVID would allow. And I found myself during the postpartum phase missing my little belly buddy so much more than the first journey. And I don't know if that's normal. It's just my experience. So I will wake up, wake up in the middle of the night when you have to go pee and you're grabbing your belly and you're kind of doing a waddle to the bathroom. It's like I would wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, grab my belly. I'm like, oh, okay. And just kind of have to rock myself back to sleep. And so next big thing for me that segues into that, because I feel myself getting a little emotional about it, is postpartum care. What does that look like for surrogates? So I'm coming out and I'm creating an e-guide. The journal is called Grow Through It. The e-guide is going to be titled Heal Through It. And it's focusing on the what now. What's next? Where do I find how do I recover? How do I find my next big thing? How do I set boundaries? How do I just move forward if it's in entrepreneurial or, just moving forward and healing from having a baby and then not having a baby, if that makes sense.
And then having that surrogacy, that massive surrogacy sized hole in your life that it kind of creates this vacuum that can feel like emptiness because you had so much of your
all-consuming
emotional energy and everything was dedicated to that, and then it's gone. And then the parents are also gone because they have a newborn baby, and you're left with like,
what now?
What now?
Almost,
exactly. What's next? And I think that's like the perfect tagline for my e-guide. Literally, it's like, okay, so what now? What's next? How does this healing process go? How do I have these conversations where people are like, I thought you was pregnant. Like, my favorite spot was IHOP.
Yeah.
I ate so many pancakes. My thighs are like, okay, girl, too many pancakes right now. Like, I'm still working them pancakes off. But I spent so much time in IHOP. They knew me. They treated me so well. But I didn't tell them that I was a surrogate. So, I see them now because I still go in there from time to time. And they're like, how's the baby? How's it? And I say, she's great. She's doing fine. And it's just those moments that they're happy moments, but it's still like, dang, that is my story.
How much do I want to get into? How are they going to receive it?
Yeah.
Do I want to tell them all of this? Are they going to be really supportive and think, wow, that's amazing? Or are they going to be judgmental? Like how?
I'm so selective.
You have to be.
I'm very selective because I'm sweet and this smile, but it's like I will pop off.
Yes, and rightfully so.
And you don't want to have to with the IHOP because you want to keep going back there.
Exactly. And they give me free orange juice, so I'm like, I don't want to mess that up.
And there are not as many IHOPs as there once were.
I will say it's necessary and it's so important that these conversations are being had. I know after my first journey, I had intended parents that were close by. They came to all the appointments. We had this beautiful relationship, and I adored them, and I still do. He actually is going to be 15 on the 30th of July, which is wild to me. And I remember at delivery day, the intended mom's holding my hand as I'm getting the epidural, and I'm leaning on her, and I watched them hold their baby and do skin to skin. And I remember feeling all of these like, just, wow, this is so unreal. I remember those things with my own kids. So to see these people who have desired and wanted this baby for so long now be parents. And fast forward to the next day, they come in and they're saying goodbye and they're giving me love and telling me how grateful they are for me. And I'm saying goodbye and they leave. And then my husband's there, and I was maybe 5 minutes, I don't know. I start bawling, and he's looking at me like, "What is wrong? What do I do? What do I do?" Now, mind you, I just had a baby, so all those hormones are still coming, regardless. And and I couldn't piece together what that was. And then they had texted me when they got home this beautiful video of them walking Gavin into their home, showing him their little puppy brother that he had waiting for him, so excited. And they sent that to me first. They didn't send that to anybody else. They sent it to me. And they had said, "We're home. We love you. We wouldn't be here without you." I realized at that moment, for me personally, that was my tears, because I had built this relationship with this family so close, and they were my people. I talked to them daily. We seen each other. It was very intimate. And now they were busy and had this family. Yes. And for me, it was realizing I had this friendship that now would probably change, not completely, but it was going to look a lot different naturally, because they have this new baby that they are going to be taken care of. But I think these are the conversations we have, because surrogacy is beautiful, but there are so many very raw moments that you need to consider. And make sure you have that support system, and make sure you have those now whats
that you can talk to that really understands. Because I think the hard thing too as a surrogate is when you're feeling those feelings of sadness or whatever feelings, or those overwhelming emotions, some people you'll talk to could be like, "See, I told you, that's why you shouldn't have done this, because I told you if you giving up the baby is going to make you really sad and have postpartum depression." And that's not what it is. It's not about giving up the baby. That's not it. And having to defend your choice while you're trying to process what you're feeling is so unfair and not helpful. So I think having somebody who knows what you're talking about and knows what you've experienced and is there to hold you and tell you it's okay and you're not crazy and what you're feeling is normal and what you're feeling is valid, even if it looks completely different than what they felt when they went through it. Like I love surrogates who just delivered, and I just want to pour love on them, because I know all those feelings that come are big and scary, and you're like, "Oh my God, am I is something wrong with me? Am I ruined? Like, am I ever going to feel normal again? Am I going to feel okay? Did I make a mistake? And you didn't, but you need a safe place to process those feelings, as brief or fleeting as they might be, because they come and they go. Feelings
and those
just have to come and go.
And those safe spaces, unfortunately, we find those. It's a good thing, but I say unfortunately because we want to have those safe spaces with people that we're the closest to, like our family and our sisters and friends. But from my experience, those safe places have been in strangers.
Yeah, who've done it also.
I don't want to ruin relationships because I will cut. You gotta go. Okay. Don't call me no more. It's friendship over. It's over. And I know that about myself. So I have to be selective with the type of conversations that I have with certain people. And it's not because I just don't trust them or don't want to hold back. It is what it is. You got to know what you're working with. And so when you know
give them
people,
opportunities to disappoint you.
And it's like, and people just don't understand. They feel, like you said, they think it's sadness and regret, but it's not. It's a very intense, emotional, like, oh my God, this is happening in my life and I did this, and it's so spiritual, and it's just it's an overwhelming
it's over
feeling that you can't do nothing but cry about it. That's how you release the emotion. It's like you just cry about it, and people take tears to be a form of sadness, and it's not sadness. Both journeys absolutely amazing. That moment in the hospital when the baby is being reunited with their parents is something that you just cannot put into words. It is so
special club,
amazing. I felt, share this story with you. Okay. My first journey, 2020. So much was going on in the world. I was pregnant and had a baby during the pandemic. And it's just brought on I learned so much about myself. I felt emotions that I've never, ever felt in my life. Not only were we going through a pandemic, we were also experiencing very high racial climate. There was so many things happening. George Floyd's death, then that spiraled into racial tension. And being an African-American woman in America, having a blonde hair, blue eye baby, I felt badass. Okay. I felt it was so empowering for me because of what was going on around me that had people questioning their identity, questioning their worth, questioning, do I belong here? Their belonging. And here I am doing this act of kindness. I felt like I had a cape was just flying behind me. Like, I'm just like, I felt amazing. It brought me through many spiritual moments. I believe it helped me. It really helped me. And that was, to me, it was a blessing in disguise, because if I wasn't pregnant, if I, was not on the surrogacy journey, there's no telling where life would have taken me because of everything else that was going on around me. I probably would have been one of the protesters in the road, and you would have seen me on the news, and I would have, it could have been that for me.
Which would have been really powerful too. But what a great outlet that you had.
Yes, it definitely would have been very powerful, and it would have took me down a different path and a different road. But I felt like that would have also took me away from my family and my home.
And
so I'm very
calling that you have.
I'm very grateful to have been in the surrogacy space during the pandemic, during 2020. It was wild. Okay.
It was a wild time.
It was a wild time, but the ending result that baby, the parents making it, they got stuck. The embassy was holding up travel. I had conversations about bringing the baby home, and this was, I had a scheduled C-section. And this was like 3 days before delivery. And I'm being asked if I could bring the baby home. And it was just wild. The parents made it to the delivery. They sent me a message. They're like, we're here. And they didn't miss their baby delivery. And the hospital staff and the nurses and the doctors were so amazing to us. They let them in the room. They had all these crazy restrictions.
What hospital did you deliver at?
Palomar Health.
In San Marcos?
Escondido. Escondido. It's the new hospital, and it's fairly new. Maybe 5 years, five to 10, maybe. And it was amazing. They, we took pictures together. We shared moments together. They held their baby, and it just made everything else around like a blur. Those filters where you can just see what's in front of you, and then everything else just don't matter. Yes. That's how the moment was in the hospital in 2020.
And you nailed it. It is a superpower. I get the pleasure of calling all of the surrogates. So as an agency now, we have had 26 deliveries.
Yay!
Is it 26 or is it more now?
I think 27? It's 20. I feel like it was 25, but
so we had the twins, so that would have been 26.
Twins, yeah.
Okay. So I get to call each of these women, and it is my favorite thing to do after they've delivered, because we get to talk about their delivery day. Yes. And when I'm writing them a letter and I'm sending them our special surrogacy as a gift, I put in there, you are a superhero. And yes. I need you to hear this because it is profound what you have done. And I know that we are passionate about surrogacy, and so many people like you who are out there talking about their experience and bringing forth this education. It's about recognizing what a beautiful thing this is all around, period. And so I think that's huge. And what you're doing every single day is huge because there are women who are being impacted by that. Dr. Toni, I am really so impressed and really just grateful that we've had an opportunity to get to know you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see what you are doing with Heal Through It. So is that also going to be a physical product, or is it going to be, what is it?
I'm going to make it an e-guide. So I'm going to make it an e-guide to where it's printable. So, a easy click, purchase, deliver to your email, PDF, do what you want with it, right? Okay. So it's going to be in an e-guide form. And I'm so excited because I feel like when it comes to surrogacy, postpartum care is not talked about enough. I'm not saying conversations are not happening, but I feel like, and this just could be from my own personal experience, I felt like it was like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, bye. And I went through this healing journey alone. When I joined groups and communities and just, being on social media and seeing that I'm not the only one going through this. But I'm like, there should be more. There needs to be more. There needs
and some of these groups are not great anyways.
Support.
Just saying.
Yeah. There should be more, and I just wanted to be in. I just want to be in the space, and I just wanted to show the world really that this is what healing looks like for surrogates. This is the process. It's here. It's happening. We're talking about it. We're doing it, and we're showing up. And I'm going to continue to show up and have those difficult conversations and put people in their place and cut people off. And because it's needed. It's definitely needed. So I am a very big advocate.
And sometimes when you have to cut somebody off or put them in their place, that's the consequence that they need to experience to recognize that their behavior is harmful.
Yeah.
You need to
And then they don't
consider
just get to walk around flapping
saying
it.
what they want to say and doing it without thought, without like asking any questions. I really wish people would approach more with curiosity than having to feel like they need to come to a snap judgment right away. This is my opinion about that. Like nobody asked you what your opinion about this is.
Exactly.
Like why did you feel like it was appropriate for you to give your opinion when I shared with you that I was a surrogate? Like,
It's the passive aggressiveness.
how do you feel about me being a surrogate, stranger? No.
Tell me. I want to know. I'm really curious.
And then they get really bold on social media. That's the wild part. Like
It's like being in the car and getting frustrated and honking when you probably wouldn't have honked at that person in real life.
Like in the
next to
grocery
them.
store checkout, you wouldn't have behaved that way.
Yeah.
If they could ram you with their cart.
I don't know. Maybe you would have.
Exactly.
I see
So
people misbehaving out in the wild all the time.
I know.
yeah. So e-guide coming soon. There's on the website for the folks that are listening, wombsofangels.com. On the website, there is a page that gives a little bit more information and details about the e-guide, what to expect, what you would get from it. Very simple to get on the mailing list. Just put your email address in there, click submit, and then you'll get a series. I'm not going to blow you up. Okay. It's one every few days. But you'll get a series of emails and it'll just go through the steps, just introduction, what to expect, the purpose, the why, and stay tuned. Stay tuned. Hopefully it'll be.
Do you have a launch date yet for that, or is that still in progress?
It's still in progress.
Okay.
I'm saying summer.
Okay.
Let's go with summer. It will be launched. I will definitely circle back around and let you ladies know when it goes live.
Please.
I know that postpartum after surrogacy it's one of those things that's like, for our agency, one of the things that we do offer for our surrogates is ongoing mental health support with
That's beautiful.
therapist for at least 3 months and then up to 6 months if they need it. Postpartum.
That's beautiful.
But that's just, I mean, I think that's great. It's better than nothing, which is what I had in my journeys was nothing. So I like having that to offer, but I also want to do more. And we always talk about like, what's the more? What would that look like? And I don't know the answers. So I am very
Maybe it's
curious.
a collaboration.
It is.
What would have been something that you wish that your agency would have provided for you in postpartum that would have been meaningful or that you would have taken advantage of? Because I feel like sometimes too, even when you're postpartum as a surrogate or even just as a new mom or a mom with another baby, you know you need something, but you don't know what you need. And people can offer you lots of things and you can turn it all down. What is something that you think that you would have grabbed hold of, that you would have been grateful for?
Just a simple what now, how to move forward. And it doesn't have to be complicated. And I think that's where people, when we know there's a need for something, but we kind of procrastinate or hold back from creating or answering, fulfilling that need, is because we get so wrapped up on, for one, it being perfect. What do we say? It's just too much and it becomes overwhelming to where you don't do anything at all. But something as simple as 1, 2, 3. Start here. We need a starting place. We need somewhere to start. And once you start, that's where every woman and their individual needs are different. So it's just getting started. This is your what now. This is what moving forward for you after surrogacy. This is what this looks like for you. 1, 2, 3. Get started. Let me know if you need how I can support you. Like my number one, if I had to just take a stab at it, would be to appreciate the moment. Appreciate the moment. And because as women, we get so wrapped up into our snapback. And we just want to be back where we were pre-pregnancy. And we don't give ourselves enough time to sit in those
Heal.
moments.
Yeah.
Let your uterus shrink back to normal size first, okay? Before we start being too hard on ourselves, we want to just snap back into what once was and how we used to look and our mindset and really, and that's another venture of mine is, and that's a really big thing, is doing away with the snapback culture. It's not about snapping back. We will never, once you have a baby, you will never be that same woman. You will never get back to that person. She does not exist anymore. We appreciate her journey. We love on her. We have pictures, put them in an album because, baby, we moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's another focus of postpartum recovery is
which is not to say that you're not going to feel beautiful again, but you're going to be a different beautiful. I always think about my postpartum phase because I go through, you know how birds molt in the seasons, you know, they have these beautiful feathers and then they go through like a molting season or snakes too, where they have to shed that skin and it's ugly. And it's like, you look like trash. You look bad. But you have to go through that. And like, you know, when I have my postpartum hair loss, every time hair falls out and I have the little, like, it grows back and you get the little duck fluff, you know, and I just look ridiculous and I feel ugly. But I also look at myself in those, like I didn't before. I've had 5 pregnancies now.
Yeah.
Is that right? 4? How many pregnancies have I had?
3,
4. I've had 4.
But one of them was twins, so you can count that
4
as 5
pregnancies.
babies.
One was twins. But after my last pregnancy, when I looked at myself and I saw like my weird loose crepey skin and my duck fluff and like my lumpy body, you know, I was just like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Like,
we need to be kinder to ourselves.
And that's cool. And that's a phase and you'll go through it and you will get back to a place where you feel beautiful again. I feel like knowing that that's on the horizon, it doesn't have to be right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I'm ugly now and now I'm ugly forever. It means I'm not my most beautiful right now, but I will be feeling more beautiful again. And you just being okay with that. Like you said, being in the moment, like this is how it is right now. And
it's all the out it's the outer appearance because you are beautiful. The heart and the soul is beautiful. And so there is beauty in it. It's just hard for us to see it because all we're looking at is like the bald spot that, you know, we lost the hair and, you know,
what is social media saying?
And what social media is saying. And we miss to smell the roses. We miss the beauty in postpartum. It's a transformation that happens during this phase. And I just want to guide women into loving that transformation, being happy in that transformation in order to move forward and love the woman that is becoming. You know, so that's what I mean about when I say do away with the snapback culture, that we get so caught up in mommyhood that we're missing the importance of the stage that we're in.
Well,
it's because we're trying to surrogacy.
You're not taking care of a baby, right? You're going back to what was life before that. You forget you have this big gaping hole where your placenta needs to heal. Your body inside needs to heal, and you need to take a break. You need to take a beat and remember that and be kind to yourself. I think that's the biggest thing too, is just being nice to yourself. Sunshine says this to me all the time. I'm guilty of it. Like really guilty of it. She's like, can you stop talking about my friend like that? I don't need you talking about my friend like that, because the reality is we are our own worst critic.
Oh, and we have to listen to ourselves all the time. Like even when we're not talking, we're talking to ourselves. And it's so important that voice be kind, and you have to train it, because I feel like we spend our whole lives as women with that voice being trained to be mean to us. And we have to be very conscious about how we're speaking to ourselves and think the way that I'm speaking to myself Would I
Would I let my
tolerate
daughter-
somebody speaking to my daughter that way or my best friend that way? I absolutely would not. I would punch that person in the face if they talked to my daughter that way.
Yep.
So why am I talking to myself that way?
Yeah.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
How can I love other people more than I love myself? And how can I love other people if I don't love myself? Like you can't.
Exactly. We have to fill our own cups. And we have to appreciate the moments that we're in. And with surrogacy, what makes the postpartum phase unique is because there is no baby. Yeah. So we're literally trying to get back to our normalcy. We have children or a kid, at least one, right? that we have to provide for and raise and be there. We have a family. We have careers. We have time off work, but that's very short, so we're trying to figure out how do we transition back into our careers. And it's just go, 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 go. That it's like, okay, girl, at some point you're either going to fall into a depression, you are going to burn out because you're not allowing yourself to rest. Even though there's no baby, that rest and that mental rest and that soul care is still so important. So we have to slow down and we have to just, breathe, take deep breaths.
Easier said than done.
And yeah, exactly. And stop trying to trick ourselves. We try to trick ourselves into thinking things is one way when it's really not. And that causes more damage than good. So that's the basis of the e-guide. That's the heart behind it. And I'm excited.
I'm really excited. I can't wait to see it. And I also can't wait to get my hands on your journal. So I need that in my hands.
Okay. How do we get that, Dr. Toni? Please.
Let's talk about ordering the journal. Let me hold it up. Okay. So ordering the journal directly from the website, wombsofangels.com. And because you ladies have been so good to me, what I'll do is I'll create a discount code specifically for this podcast. I'll create the discount code and I'll give it to you so that way you can post it. And order it directly from the website. I do ship within 24 hours and you'll have it in your hands in no time.
Yay, so I can't wait. God, I wish I had it when I was doing my journey though, because I'll never be pregnant again as long as I live. Thank God.
It comes with the journal. There's also a Wombs of Angels pin that has this cute little charm on it.
So cute.
I love it.
Cute. It also comes in a pouch.
Wow, you thought of everything.
Yes, because I want the journal to be something
as a keepsake.
A keepsake, yes, and that you can carry around with you and you can, so here's the pouch that it comes in. It's nice. It's like a crushed velvet. It has live with purpose, on purpose, and with great purpose written on the back. So it fits beautifully inside the pouch. And yeah, go to the website.
Have you seen our transfer boxes? They're that dark, beautiful purple that you have. We actually just had our designers redesign, and our designer is amazing, but she just redesigned those, and it's going to be that purple. So it was like meant to be this conversation.
Because surrogates are royalty, and purple is a royal color. And
it is. Yes, it is. So I appreciate you ladies supporting the movement, believing in what I do in my brand and the brand. It's so important to be a part of the community and feel welcome, because not every space is not welcoming. I'll say that just from
what?
No, I know I get beat up on the internet all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, every space is not welcoming. No. And I'm like, ladies, let's, so
you need a PhD to ask a question in them groups.
Yeah, well, conveniently, she's prepared. No.
There we go. Just dropping the mic. Yeah.
All you have to do is just show up with me.
Listen, I got Dr. Toni here, and she says I can ask a question in this stupid Facebook group.
And it's not a silly question. We actually started a Facebook group because we got sick of it. It's like, no, you should be able to ask a question and not feel like it's a silly question.
If you're going to get attacked, you don't have no right considering being a surrogate if you don't know what a DET is. Like, excuse me,
okay.
What are you talking
about? Listen, Linda, as they say. Let's talk about it. So
let's talk about it. Exactly. exactly. And creating safe spaces. Let's talk about that because I also have consultations, and I call them consultations for the lack of a better term, but it's really having open conversations with women who are considering gestational surrogacy, intended parents who have questions and they just kind of want to know what it's like without the pressure, without the sales pitch, So I've created a space. The calendar is open. The link is in my bio on Instagram. And I just, anything anybody wants to talk about, I'm an open book. There's questions out there that needs answers. And so I created a safe space to just talk. I'm not pursuing anyone anyway, as far as like an agency, go here or do this. I just speak from experience. And I'm just answering questions. And if I don't know the answer, I will say, hey, I'm going to have to circle back around to you on that. I'll do a little bit of research, reach out to some people and see what I can find out. But just really having that initial conversation with people who are just interested in the process. I've talked to people who's just like, surrogacy, what is that? Like, I see it online. I just want to know what it is. And I just wanted to talk to you. And kind of from your perspective, what is surrogacy? Am I eligible? Who does this? Is this just for, people have this notion that it's just for gay people and gay couples. And I'm like, let's talk about this because it's not just for, gay couples. It's for anybody. It's for single people.
That's our slogan that's on our shirts. A surrogacy is for everyone. Surrogacy
is for everyone. It's for everyone.
And fertility can impact anyone. Anyone. Even a 17-year-old girl.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it did not. And
yeah,
I just can't get over that doctor thinking about that bomb that he dropped on you and walked away and just didn't even think about the impact that would have on you. Like,
and it's so wild. It's so wild.
And based on what?
Yeah.
Based on the demographics, based on the neighborhood, based on where I was, and that's the message that she wanted wanted to deliver. It's very
cruel. It was
impersonal.
Cruel.
It was. So, Dr. So-and-so, I had 3 babies. Thank you very much, girl.
Are you done? Did your womb is closed? What does that look like?
Okay, let's talk about it. So, my family we have been discussing having another Watson baby, a baby of our own. Now, I was against it for the longest, and that's where I say I don't know if it's selfish. I don't want to feel selfish, but I feel like I'm happy with my 7-year-old. I'm so into me. I love my career, and that means to have another baby. What does that look like for me? I'm Xing out everybody else because it don't matter. You're not the one having a baby. So I'm Xing out everyone else, and I'm just focusing on me and really having those tough conversations with myself and what does that look like for me?
Yeah.
Mentally, spiritually, in my career, in my business. Having a baby is no joke. And you
no joke.
Have to take...
Not having a baby is not selfish.
No.
Also, just, I don't...
I was 14 years later getting baby fever and nobody was there talking me out of it. And I don't regret it for a second because my 5-year-old and my 3-year-old are amazing. Yeah. But there's a 14-year gap in between my kids. And
you're a different mom than you were when you were a mom to your older.
They get a different version of you.
Probably a better version, actually.
That is so cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first ones, the ones you have when you're younger, they know the struggle.
Mm-hmm.
They know the struggle. These the other ones that come after don't know the struggle. No. Okay,
no idea.
That's so funny. My daughter wants a sibling. She's like, and I want to give her a sibling. I feel so obligated to like always play Tea Party and Barbie and be everything for her because she doesn't have a sibling. So I get that guilt just east.
But what if she has a sibling and they don't get along? I mean,
Or
I
what
have
if
a
it's
lot
a
of friends
boy?
who have two kids
She wants to have a
that hate
brother,
each other.
actually.
Okay.
And
She
they
wants to have a
fight,
brother.
and they don't, you can't guarantee that you're going to get along. So
I'm gonna make them go. I'm like, you know what I had to go through?
yeah, I'm
The
going to
shirt
knock your heads
that they have to,
Yeah,
they
the
have
shirt
to
that they
stick
have to
together.
wear. If you
But
want to have this
then-
shirt, you need to be nice. And they're like, all right, let's work together.
So, ladies, I'm also considering another surrogacy journey. So
Okay.
I am torn. It's like I only have so many pregnancies left in me. I can only do this so many more times. I've had 3 C-sections.
And this would be it. This would be number 4 as far as
So this
safety
would,
is
yes,
concerned.
this would be it. So I'm really deciding on, do I do another surrogacy journey? Do I have another,
Well, if you do another surrogacy journey, then you won't be able to carry another one for yourself. Or, I mean, it just the risk is, you have a lot of big decisions to make. I do not envy your position, not even a little bit right now.
No, not even.
Yeah.
I remember feeling
it's
that way
hard
going
and
into my
tough.
3rd journey. I didn't want to do another one. And then I ended up doing it again because my intended parents wanted to have a sibling. And I knew that we had worked so hard to build the trust of our relationship. And I was like, I'm going to be 39. It's now or never. So
That's me right now. I turned 39. It's going to be May. May 19th is my birthday. I turned 39.
happy almost birthday.
Thank you. And so that's
I'm
kind of
43 now, but I was
That's where I'm
39
at.
when I delivered my last surrogate baby.
And it was her 3rd C-section.
And it was my
I've
3rd
had,
C-section.
I've had 3 or 4 C-sections.
You've had 4, my love.
One.
And the last
yes.
one was not.
The last one was bad, so
Good,
I've definitely retired from being able to. carry babies.
Luckily, I've healed. I'm like a super healer. I get it from my mom. We're super healers.
Get it from my mama.
But luckily, I didn't have any complications from the C-sections. And having a C-section, even with my daughter, that's what started the whole circle, falling into the trap of C-sections. I call it a trap because no one educates
once
you.
you're in it, it's hard to get out.
They don't educate you. And I'm like, so being so young and not knowing, I always have those moments of, if I knew then what I know now. You just go to the doctor. You trust what they say. It's like doctors knows best. And I could have totally had my daughter without having a C-section.
Yeah.
But that put me into that endless, vicious cycle
Well, are lucky because
C-section.
you're in San Diego and there's a really great doctor who does incredible C-section. He delivered my last surrogate baby, Dr. Kapitanakis. He's in Encinitas. He's amazing and he's renowned for his C-sections. I went back to work 6 days after my last C-section.
She shouldn't have, and it was our company, so it wasn't like she got
I
to
was
work from
sitting
home.
on my couch with my laptop.
But we thought she was crazy and
I
didn't
got
want
so
to hang
bored
up on
and
her.
I felt so good. I had 2 C-sections prior and I remember feeling like I got hit by a truck. I remember feeling pretty bad. And that second birth that you do, when you have to, after all the anesthesia, have to have your first like bowel movement after a C-section and you're like terrified. I didn't have that experience with my last one. So if you do deliver another baby, whether for yourself or for someone else, you should look into Dr. Cap. He's amazing. Dr. Kapitanakis and Encinitas. We need to have him on the podcast.
I know.
As crazy as it sounds, I'm thinking about having a vaginal birth.
Okay.
Because it's possible. VBACs, like this is the
is.
education that is
I had
not
a VBAC.
shared with the people. And I'm
But
going to
VBACs
get
after
out
3
there.
C-sections?
I don't know if a VBAC
This is a
after
whole
3.
other podcast
I know, I was
topic.
going to say, we can talk about this for a long time because I had a C-section with my first because she was breech. And then I was as determined as you because I wish there was more education. And I was young and it didn't have to be a C-section. Let's just leave it there. When I went for my second one, I had to interview several doctors before I found a doctor that would say, yes, we will try to have a VBAC. And we did. And I had a beautiful, successful vaginal delivery. And then I did another. My first surrogacy was a vaginal delivery. And then my second surrogacy journey, he was a big old baby. And they had highly recommended I had a C-section. So that was my second C-section was with my one, two, three, fourth pregnancy.
Wow.
And then, unfortunately, my last two little sweethearts were both breech, stubborn as all get out. When we tried a version, it didn't work. So that's where the 4 C-sections have come in for me too.
Wow. Yeah. That's a story. That's a story.
We could probably talk for it a long time, I think.
All of my C-sections, and we'll move on from talking about cesareans. But they're all been scheduled. So I have never experienced labor pain. I've never experienced water breaking. It's like I just wake up. It's delivery day. I'm walking in and I'm like, let's have a baby. My daughter was born December 31st. My daughter was born December 31st, New Year's Eve baby. That's also my wife's birthday, so they share the same birthday.
That's crazy.
And my first sorrow baby, Maxie Pooh, he was born August 20th, 2020. And again, I just walked in there and let's have a baby. And then my baby Charlotte, people are like, so what are you doing today? I'm like, I'm making breakfast. I'm like, I'm gonna go, have a baby today, whatever. So the third delivery, Charlotte, May 19th, 2022, which is my birthday. So I delivered her on my birthday. So
you keep delivering babies on you and your wife's birthdays.
Yeah, I delivered my second Surrogacy baby, Charlotte, on my birthday, May 19th in 2022. So we have the same birthday. So, and that's
really, really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
There you go. It's a story. It keeps unfolding, right? As we continue to talk.
We'll have to have a next episode, have you on for another episode. I think that there is a lot of content here that we could add to this more. So,
and I think you have a lot more products that you're going to probably be creating over the next years too, as Wombs of Angels grows. So thank you for creating this. Thank you for spending this time with us. It was so cool to get to meet you and hear your story.
Having me. Yes, thank you for having me. Shout out to you ladies for doing the work that you do. It's not easy. At one point in time, I used to want to have a surrogacy agency. And then I was like, no, I don't want to have a surrogacy agency.
I never wanted to have a surrogacy agency. I swear, I feel like the universe bullied me into it. Like we didn't feel like we had a choice. This was not what we wanted to do.
Bullied into it, and I'm sure they're trying to bully you out of it. So it's not easy at all.
But it's so important, and it's so important that it be done well and with intention. And as long as we have to, it's so important. I don't think we don't have a choice anymore. We have to do it.
Yes. Well, you're doing amazing work. You are doing amazing work. So shout out to you ladies. Shout out to the surrogacy space in general, all the professionals, all the doctors, all the intended parents. Keep dreaming, keep living. All of the potential gestational surrogates out there. If you need somebody to talk to, you can talk to me. I'm sure these ladies on the line with me here will be more than willing to talk to you as well. Don't be shy. Ask your questions. This is a safe space, and I just think it's really important that people know that. So if you are not following me on my social media handles, IG, it is Wombs of Angels. Facebook is Wombs of Angels. TikTok is Wombs of Angels. So you can find me on any one of these platforms. Feel free to slide in my DMs if you have any questions. Visit the website if you want to learn more about my story, my journey, the products. I call it the Angel Shop. So the Angel Shop has the journal. I will create the discount code for this podcast. You can purchase pins. E-guide is coming soon. And there's also a freebie on the product page. You scroll all the way down to the bottom. You get a sneak peek of a page that's in the journal. So just throw your email in there and you'll receive that PDF.
Okay.
Wombsofangels.com.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to order my journal, get my hands on it. It's so beautiful. And good luck with whatever you decide to do next, because you have some big decisions on the horizon.
Yes.
So keep us posted. We're going to be following along with your story.
If I call you crying, just please take my call, because that
yes,
means I'm in distress.
One way or another, she's probably pregnant.
Yeah. Oh.